Hey guys, so it's been about a year since our wedding. We are currently living in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Both of our families still live back in Georgia. We actually passed Toccoa Falls on our commute back and forth, so we figured this time we'd stop by. We've received a lot of questions about how we got our wedding at Toccoa Falls and just some other things, so I'm going to go through all of that in this video. First, I'd like to thank Spark Weddings for capturing our day. I'm using some of their clips throughout this video. They did a great job and we're so glad we have a video to look back on. So I found Toccoa Falls on Pinterest. It was the one and only venue I went to go look at. Toccoa Falls is actually a Christian college and it's open to the public. Since it's not considered a wedding venue, or at least it wasn't at the time we got married, we got an unbelievable deal. If you're interested in having your wedding here, I will link their contact information below. They have some guidelines to consider, so I would check those out too. To get to the falls, there is about a 3-minute walk path that runs parallel to this beautiful river. I will point out that this is a gravel trail, so it can be tricky for girls in heels. We also rented their golf cart for the day. I think it was like $25, and someone was able to transport guests back and forth for easier access. I want to give a big shout out to my mom for pulling all of this off. We didn't have a wedding planner. I just told her my vision and she made it happen, all within 6 months, which is not a lot of time in the wedding world. And this is our dog Toccoa. You can probably guess why we named her that. She's an Alaskan Malamute. It was fun bringing her here for the first time. I would say the only con about having your wedding here was there wasn't a bridal suite available. So we rented 2 different hotels for the girls and guys to get ready at before the ceremony. And I will link both of those down below. So now I'm talking about the bridesmaids. We actually made all of the bridesmaids bouquets ourselves. And we used seeded eucalyptus, Italian ruscus, baby's breath, and white roses. I also made my own flower crown and my flower girl's crown too. The girls' dresses are in the shade steel blue. For the guys, we wanted to just do white shirts and gray pants. They got those from like Macy's. We also did the tan suspenders. I believe those came from Express. All of the guys have bow ties on, which if you know Ian, he is big into bow ties. We also made all of the guys boutonnieres. All right, and so these are all of our happy guests. They all just look so thrilled to be here. So this is Ian and his dad walking down. Ian's dad actually officiated our wedding, which was really special. One thing that I spent a lot of time on was all of the music. All of the songs that I used and incorporated all had a special meaning to us and a backstory. So the song that Ian and his dad walked out to was Holocene by Bon Iver. We did use the instrumental version, which I need to say. The week that we got engaged, we went to a Bon Iver concert. I just love how it set the tone for the rest of the event. For our wedding party, to Hearts on Fire by Passenger. This song is a song that Ian would always sing to me in the car. And of course, my cute nephew. Oh, darling, my heart's on fire. So the song that I walked out to was Turning Page by Sleeping at Last. I've heard this song growing up and I just always knew that I wanted to get married to it. It's a song that I play on the piano a lot and the words are so meaningful for us in our relationship. I really wanted to time it specifically. We had the idea of, just having Ian face towards the waterfall during this time when I was turning the corner. And then as I approached the back row of the pews, he turned around. And so we were able to just see each other for the first time and everybody see our reactions too, which walked to the front in front of him. I also wanted there to be that time for a certain line in the song that was very personal to me. Every time I hear this song, it makes me so nervous, but I'm so glad that we used it and that we timed it just right. One thing that played a huge part in the whole ambiance of our wedding was the church pews. Anne and I met at church, so tying in that added a really cool element. We rented them from a company called I Do Pews. They were so accommodating, even with the chance of rain, and told us they would set up no matter what, which was definitely a stress reliever. Also want to point out the 15,000 flower petals for the center aisle. We ordered those from Sam's in pink and white. That was the only decoration you could say that we used for the ceremony. So another frequently asked question is how our guests were able to hear over the waterfall. We had a PA system that was provided by my Aunt Tisa. She set all of that up, which was so helpful, and so sound and playing music wasn't an issue. I did my own makeup, and Lauren, my maid of honor, helped me with my hair. The girls took photos before the ceremony separately, and so being by the waterfall and having the mist hit you in the face will make your hair fall flat, so I'm glad we were able to touch up before the ceremony. My dress is Stella York. I got it from a boutique called Formerly Yours in Lilburn, Georgia. So our reception was held at the Gate Cottage right in front of the falls. We used Elisa as our caterer. She was actually our decorator as well for the reception hall. She provided and set up all of the decorations in there, which was huge. That took a lot of stress off of us. It's totally worth it. Super happy with how all of that turned out. Our wedding favors were little succulents that came from Home Depot. Anne's mom and sisters put together all of these thank you tags on them. Our cake came from Trinice. We went to church with her back in Beaufort, Georgia. She was able to pull this off very last minute, so I will also link her information in the description as well. We also had a cookie cake from the Great American Cookie Company as like our groom cake. We also had a coffee bar for our guest. I completely forgot about that. All right, so our pictures. Photos were by Luna Lee Photography. I cannot say enough good things about this husband and wife team. They did an amazing job capturing our day. They are very professional and so fun to work with. I would recommend them to absolutely anyone. They actually sent us some preview shots of our wedding that same night. Seeing our wedding photos go viral across Instagram and all of these wedding accounts sharing them has been so cool to watch. I've seen some posts reach over like 30,000 likes. And as a girl, seeing your wedding photos blow up like that is just a good feeling. It was so cool to watch all the details that everyone worked so hard on come alive into one day. And to see people appreciate and find inspiration from that from all over the world just means so much. So we have decided to start a tradition. Every year on our anniversary, we want to go visit a new waterfall. So follow us to see where we go this year, and we also have some exciting stuff we're planning for the future. And lastly, I want to add one thing we did as we were leaving the venue that night. We recorded a short video of us recapping the day, and it's just cool to be able to look back and remember our reactions, so I'll include that here for you guys to see. We just got married. It was absolutely perfect. I could not ask for anything more. The weather was amazing. I'm just so glad that it didn't rain, but we just had the best time. This has been the best day of my life.
It's been unbelievable. And the work that went into it, all the stress that it might rain, and then everything came together just so perfectly.
Yeah. Were you nervous?
So leading up to it, I wasn't until about 30 minutes before, and it was with all the guys, and then there was a time where it was me and Chase alone, and we talked for a few minutes and we prayed together, and I started getting emotional, and then my dad came in, and just me and him, we talked for a few seconds and prayed again, and I was already getting emotional, and so walking up to the waterfall, I was already starting to feel it, and the anticipation was just building. And seeing you was just perfect.
I would have to say the same. Like, I was fine all day long, except about 30 20 minutes before this actual ceremony. It was like when we got into the golf cart, me and my dad, and it was Lauren and Violet, and they drove us up, and I could see all the, bridesmaids and groomsmen lining up, and I could hear our songs playing, and I knew, I was coming up soon. And so, but right when I turned the corner, just the waterfall in the background, the pews with all the flower petals, and all our friends and family just sitting there, it was unbelievable. And you had your back towards me at first, and so I had to walk very slow. I was trying to time this song just right, and it timed perfectly, but the slower I was walking, and without seeing you, I just had a moment to look around in the crowd and just see everybody's faces, and they looked so excited, and it was awesome. That was a cool moment, although that made me even more nervous, just seeing, more eyes on me, and I felt like I was about to throw up halfway down the aisle. And then when you finally turned around, I saw you, and it was just such a sweet moment. I'll never forget that. Once I got up there was a pause, and to finish the rest of the song, about 30 minutes, or not 30 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But I literally thought, I was like, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah.
I was nervous. But it was so awesome. I would not change a thing. And getting in the waterfall after the ceremony, taking pictures, I cannot wait to see what they did and what they took, and the video too. So we are on our way to the hotel now, and leaving at 4 a.m. for Eleuthera.
That's right.
So we haven't had much sleep, but that's okay. We'll catch up.
Best day of my life.